Okay, we're going to review an in-between book before we review, before we talk about The Rose and the Dagger, because there is a 13-page in-between book. So here's what we have. Actually, no, 9-page in-between book, depending on what version you read. But here's what this says. The city of Ray is burning. By the way, this is called The Mirror and the Maze. This is the, this is like a little, like a teeny tiny scene that happens in between The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger. So this says, the city of Ray is burning, with smoke billowing, fires blazing, and his people fleeing. Khalid races back to defend his city and protect his queen. But Khalid is too late to do either. He and his men arrive to find the city in ruins, nothing but a maze of destruction, and Shahrazad is gone. But who could have wrought such devastation? Khalid fears he may already know the answer. The price of choosing love over the people of Ray all too evident. Okay, so in order to kind of have this make some sense, so the way I'm gonna do some spoiling for The Wrath and the Dawn. So we find out in the book that Khalid was basically cursed by this person because his previous wife basically died, and this person was his previous wife's dad. So Ava's dad basically previously died, and we end up finding out that he cursed Khalid to do this, right? And to basically kill a woman every night in the same way that his daughter committed suicide, because his daughter hung herself with a silk cord, and he literally like killed himself in order to fulfill the curse and pay in magic, and basically pay for the magic, right? So that's kind of what he did. So that's the curse that ended up happening. But he ended up killing, I think, 71 to 72 women before Shahrazad volunteered to marry him, and they supposedly fell in love. I'm gonna say supposedly because I don't believe the story. So before they supposedly fell in love, that's Shahrazad, was the last person that ended up dying was her friend, her best friend, and also I forgot. I think she's Tariq's cousin, but I can't remember. So the one thing that The Wrath of the Dawn did is try to make him sympathetic from the start. And now, would I say that it worked? No. Kind of, but like I also think it should have not been made so sympathetically either. So that's me, but I don't think it kind of lends itself to that, and I just feel like it was not the best way to do it, but here we go. So we find him, we follow him as he kind of enters the city in this scene, and we see him we see like a really big description of the city and everything, and we see him kind of just enter his destroyed city, not able to protect his people or anything. And it is very interesting to see. I think it was very interesting to be in his head a little bit more, because we kind of got to see that he actually cares about his people and is not. Give me a second. I need a. Oh. And is not trying. It is not completely bad. So he's trying. He does care about his people, and like we got to see that in the Mirror and the Maze. Another thing, we ended up just like seeing him do that and figuring out like, Shahrazad is gone, and like his decision, like as much as he wants to go with her, he has to stay in he has to stay in the city in order to help his people. which I think was actually really, really great to see in this scene, because I think that there is always a really big thing in YA about like love, and how basically like it's the person I love, like they want to go to that person and they will like ignore basically everything else, right? Like they'll ignore everything else in order to get to the person that they love. And I think that that the fact that he chose the mature way to handle it makes him a good character. Again, I think that development is not very good, and I think because I think the author tried to make us sympathetic with him from the beginning, so I don't think we got to see that. I think we were told too much. But then again, like I've said it before and I'll say it again, I think it's at the author's discretion what they tell us. But I do think that this is an important thing to show. So that is one of the things I enjoyed seeing. I also enjoyed seeing his just like his arrival and like the way that his decision making came to be, and I thought that was really interesting to see. So yeah, I think this scene would provide something for a fan of this series. I think it would provide something kind of interesting. As a reader, it definitely did for me, so give it a read if you haven't. I'll be back. I think I'll be reviewing The Rose and the Dagger next, so I will see you soon with another video. Consider subscribing and commenting. Let me know your thoughts, and until next time, consume stories. Bye!